Today we're gonna share with you what we think is good and what we think is bad.
You're filming my butt. Your best side. Yeah, I know.
Follow me! We're going inside the bus.
You can put your arms in the closet, you can put your leg in the closet. You can just crawl in the closet if you like.
But I was the one sleeping here. So I was in the coffin situation. In the end, you feel so happy you don't have lots of stuff to think about. You don't have to think about many things. Today is really the day we have to clean it because it's all dirty. We lived in it for 6 months and we cleaned it in the meantime, but it's not as clean as I would like it to be clean. So
Yes, and while cleaning the bus, we're also gonna tell you what we really like and what we dislike, because living in the bus for 6 months really brought us some good insights on our build. And today we're gonna share with you what we think is good and what we think is bad. So what is the advantage of having a big trunk space? Well, you can store a lot of gear and we can really organize it very well because of having all of this space. It also fitted our fridge and our water tank and our electric installation. So overall, it's a very handy and big space to use. The downside of having this space in the back is that we really need to open the back doors to be able to access it. We cannot access it from the van. If it rains and you have to open these two big doors, your bed is bound to get wet, and also mosquitoes can get inside really easy. So that's a bit of a downside to it, but it's definitely worth having that big space to store all your gear, because we have big things, camera gear, boards and stuff like that. So the big space is a real advantage.
we can store too many things. So it's easy if you can sort things out and easily have access to your things, but if you have big space, you always think within yourself like, oh, we have a lot of space that's not used, so we can put this in the van and we put this extra in the van, and then suddenly you're just
Stacking a lot of
yeah,
stuff.
you're stacking a lot of stuff, and then the van becomes too heavy, and yeah, this has also a downside to
Yeah.
having a lot of space.
So as you can see, we have our electrical installation here. We chose all Victron energy parts, which was a good call because this is a very solid installation. I actually don't have any downsides to it. We also have a temperature switch to make sure that the lithium batteries don't get too cold, because you really have to watch out with the cold with lithium batteries, and there's a blanket underneath that when it gets too cold it just warms up the whole thing. It's fully automated. We have this little thing making sure that we can switch between the alternator, between the solar panels and the landline. So yeah, definitely having those three options make sure that you don't have any worries in regards to having enough power in the van. Very good installation. Thanks, Hobus. So as you can see, the moist and the rain here in Belgium really make sure that you get some fungi and other funky stuff in your van, which is not a cool thing if you live in the van. So you really have to find ways to avoid this and to keep your van as dry as possible. We did a lot of effort, but it's still not completely watertight, and we still have issues with mold and stuff that you really don't want in the van. But taking regular care and maintenance on your van is really important to make sure that this doesn't get into places where you can't reach it.
You're filming my butt.
Your best side.
Yeah, I know. Follow me! We're going inside the bus. We're entering the living space. The best space on the bus. If you say dirty, this is dirty. And here we have the bed. It was a cozy bed, but it was a little bit too small. Because we are two people who like to take a lot of space in the bed. And I felt like I was sleeping in a coffin. I had no space to turn around and bend my knees, and yeah, I was like sleeping in a coffin a little bit. But it was a nice bed.
Definitely good to have a full size or a king size bed, but it was only 1.40 meters in the width, and that kind of makes a challenge for two active sleepers as us, because yeah, we had to make it in the length, because in the Sprinter van you only have 1.70 meters in the width of the van at that height, and I'm already 1.80 meters, so I wouldn't be able to stretch out or to sleep comfortably if we would have it sideways. So that's why we have the longer van, and we have the bed in this position. It's nice, we have a full-size mattress, but we could use a little extra space when moving a lot in the bed. That's definitely one of the downsides, but it sleeps very comfortably.
But the one who sleeps on this side of the bed could bend his knees into the closet. So the closet was a good thing for the one sleeping here. You can put your arms in the closet, you can put your leg in the closet. You can just crawl in the closet if you like. But I was the one sleeping here. So I was in the coffin situation. It's always been my side of the bed, but after a few years I start to think that this is just the wrong side of the bed to sleep in. It's not the right
Your
side.
choice.
Women who have to clean. Men can clean as good as women do.
Not as good. We try.
You try to do it as good. It's not good.
And you gather a lot of dirt and dust while traveling.
Yep.
Because we've been in dust and forests and wherever. And that's yeah, where things get into the bus. Next time we'll definitely check for a mosquito net that would also keep out some dirt. We wanted to have white cabinets. Never take white cabinets in your van.
That was definitely the right color to choose.
It makes the van look bigger, but it also
looks really dirty.
It also gets dirty quite quickly. So definitely think about the choice of color.